Hello, bienvenue, and welcome to That Guy's a Maniac, the podcast that gives you an unenviable insight into the creators and masterminds behind the second greatest video games website of all time, www.thatguys.co.uk. And Farley, tell us where else we can be found.
Hi Richie, I'm Farley, aka Kanzi11. And you can find our content across the internet. Normally at That Guy's a Maniac. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. That's it.
That's it? Okay, yeah. Cool. And what's that tag again?
At That Guy's a Maniac, all one word.
Hey.
All one word. Listen to me, I sound like the 90s. All lowercase and all one word.
Fantastic. And as you are no doubt aware, and our listeners are aware, we could not keep bringing you such fantastic quality broadcasts without sponsors. And do we have a sponsor for today?
We do. We're very lucky to have a sponsor bringing this content to your ears. We are sponsored this week by Moss Deep Space Center, based in Moss Deep City, for all your space center needs. That's Moss Deep Space Center.
Does Moss Deep have any, perhaps, facilities that might be useful to use? No, like meteorites that might change the shape of my Deoxys or anything like that?
No, they have some meteorites on display, but I don't know. They
don't do that? Okay, cool. Never mind. Right, okay, cheers Moss Deep anyway. Awesome.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, and I suppose back over to you, Farley, again. What were we doing here today?
Well, Richie, as you may know, taking the lead from Kill Bill, the Bible, to a lesser extent, the Hobbit movies. Good things come in part twos sometimes. And this episode is part 2 of our contrived internet green card sharing. We're talking about our favourite Pokémon, and this is my type, and this is part 2, because we ended up talking pages last time. So if you've not heard part 1,
lucky you.
Yeah, it's so hard to be sincere and like go back and listen. Just don't bother. Yeah. We come up with some contrived excuse to do yet another Pokemon podcast, and it was just in case the fake internet marriage release came, and decided that Richie and I weren't in a proper internet marriage, and decided to test our knowledge of each other by asking us which our favourite Pokemon were, by type. And so last time we did normal, fighting, flying, poison, ground, rock, bug, ghost, and steel types.
Okay.
Strong first half. This second half, less good types.
It wanes, but I'm sure there's definitely some golden tropes that we can grab onto.
Yeah, I mean, there's some.
You gotta wonder where my brain goes with sometimes.
Golden tropes. I mean, I don't think anyone has ever said the phrase golden tropes before. And that's the kind of unique content that we bring to you. Thanks, Moss Deep Space Center.
Thanks, Richie, and your fucked up speaking words.
Speaking words, brain. We've definitely this the back half. Let's put it the back half. Is definitely bumpy. It's a bumpier ride. There are high highs and low lows. For me personally. So without further ado, Richie.
I know. What are we starting off with?
Starting off with, you may have heard us talk about this before, Richie's lost love. So when I met Richie, a gleaming-eyed young man, he was firmly in love with the fire type Pokemon. In recent years, he's fallen out of love with the fire type. But is he still kindling some passion?
Oh God, kindling a flame! I can't believe you're going kindling a passion.
Wow, because I didn't know if it was candle or flame. We're talking about fire types, Richie.
Yeah.
What is your favourite fire type?
What is my favourite fire type? Well, I'll be honest with you, it's like I find it hard to like fire types just because there's only like 5 of them as well. There's like so few fire types. I'm not going to go into depths about why I don't like them or anything like that, but I'm just going to straight up say one of my favourite fire types is Salazzle. That is the poison and fire type lizard.
Salamander.
Yeah, okay, the fire salamander. The overtly sexualized poison and fire type. Yes, I like Salazzle. I do have some honourable mentions in there as well, but tell me first, Farley, what is your favourite fire type?
Yeah, I agree with you. Even though we've had a fire starter each generation, there's sort of not a lot. I don't know, Incineroar kind of stands out, but yeah, for a while they were always not the best choice.
Incineroar as the fucking cat wrestler thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. God, fuck off. I hate Incineroar so much. Only because, like, you made me watch those Pokemon Championships, which was basically everybody had an Incineroar, and all it did was, like, what was it? Fake, intimidating fake slap or something like that.
Intimidating fake out.
Fake out, yeah. That was just the cheesiest, most rubbish thing that I saw on television. I just hate it.
So that was the meta for a while, but I think Incineroar is a good addition to Smash.
Okay.
But yeah, like Emboar, forgettable, Blaziken, like fighting chicken. However, my choice is Magcargo. I have 3 fully EV'd Magcargo.
What type is Magcargo?
Fire and rock.
Oh, it's rock type, but that's a surprise. There we go.
yeah. So there's a lot going for it. Unfortunately, rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Really bad stats. Really bad typing. But I love the little flamey snail. Yeah. Any other honorable? You said you had some honorable mentions.
Yeah, I do have some honorable mentions. Like, of course, I never really fell out of love with fire. It's just more that we wanted different things. But yeah, like I really enjoyed what's it called, Talonflame, and again purely for meta reasons, and that was the ability to just straight up increase the speed of your entire team with Gale Wings, which is a kind of technique it had. So I enjoyed like having Talonflame for that time, but for no other reason than supporting the rest of my team. And sort of I mentioned it briefly when we were talking about the ice types, and I've forgotten the name of that ice moth. Help me. Frostmoth, thank you. That's so close, Ice Moth, Frostmoth. But Volcarona is also very, very similar Pokemon, and I really just like the idea of having Frostmoth and Volcarona like at the front of a doubles team, as much as they are not compatible with each other, and you went off on that one last time. I think it's a cool couple of additions. But yeah, that's it. And
what about Victini? I thought you had some time for Victini.
Victini, I had time for Victini for one reason, and that was when it was Diamond and Pearl Victini, wasn't it?
No, it's Black and White.
Black and White, okay. And that was purely like within the first week you were given a legendary, and it was just like you can go through the game with a legendary, and like, oh, finally a reason to use a legendary that isn't fucking catching them at the end of the game and never using them, sort of thing. So that was quite cool. I like that aspect of it, and like I always liked planning what Pokemon I was going to take through the game as well.
Yeah,
like I know it's a little trite, but like you had what was it? Was it Diamond, Pearl, and then you had Platinum? And when Platinum came out, I'd just like I'd made my perfect team to go through the entire game and basically just level them up as I was enjoying the game, not needing to worry about which ones I was picking up on the way, you know. And that, yeah.
Not
How
wasting
did it?
the XP.
Yeah, exactly. Not wasting the XP, but actually just getting these ones that have been properly leveled and EV'd, you know, up and there. I forget how we got there. Fire types. Do you have any other honourable mentions?
No, I don't
No.
think so. Not a huge fan of fire type.
No Houndooms, no Chandelures.
No, I mean, what are they about as well? So, you know, but rock types are very defensive and slow. What would you say characterises a fire type?
Well, I mean, there is definitely another honourable mention for you, and it's this gen, another rock and fire type.
Colossal. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing about Colossal is that it has the cool move where it loses its fire type.
Right, okay.
And then becomes a pure rock type.
Okay. Alright, well, I guess that's it then. Fair enough. The best thing about Colossal is that he's not a fire type.
Yeah, you do.
That fucking defines it, man.
I mean, there was a kind of gimmick build around Colossal where you have like a really fast Dragapult who does a really weak water attack, and then Colossal has ability called Steam Engine. So if it gets hit by a water attack, so you do surf or whatever, it will boost its speed and something else. Its speed is increased by 6 stages. So Dragapult, which is very, very fast, does surf. There's a little bit of damage on the Colossal and the bad guys. The opposing team.
I like that. The enemies.
So it's such a weird pull. And then Colossal all of a sudden becomes super fast and somewhat viable. So it kind of had a cool gimmick. But yeah, it had a really... And they do it all the time. They insert these stupid... They do it in the TCG as well, actually. That's the collectible card game. Where it's got a move called Tar Shot. So that reduces the opponent's speed and makes it weak to fire. And then you do a fire move. So Burn Up is a very good fire move, and then you lose the rock type. But, you know, Colossal's not lasting 2 turns to do some stupid crap tech to give somebody a weakness to fire.
Fair enough, yeah. Right, so I guess mentioning your steam attack and talking of water, we should move on to the water type next.
Yeah, I made a special rule about water type.
Yeah, because there's so fucking many of them.
So many of them.
We're gonna have 2 top ones, so that we can, I don't know, bore you even more.
Add this content out, potentially to a part 3.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So, Farley,
Yeah.
do tell us what one of your favourite water types.
One of my favourite water types is, I think it's mostly from the anime. It's going to be Golduck. Golduck and Psyduck. I really liked Psyduck being a clueless duck in XD on the GameCube. I think I had a team of 2 Golducks, which I took through the 100 Battle Tower. So yeah, I kind of moved those from one to the other. So yeah.
Wow, okay. I was not aware that you had that gold duck love.
Yeah, no, I do. And occasionally it's also like when you're hunting the self-destructing Pokemon, it's damp, so I have to bring them out. So yeah, Golduck. Nice Gen 1 pick.
Cool, cool.
What's your first one?
I mean, it was so hard to go through because I actually have a ton of like water Pokemon that I have leveled up and worked with, and I've even mentioned quite a few already for the dual types that we've had. But I'm going to go for the original cunty cunt, which is Melodic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Melodic has this really cool move, or did have. I think they've reworked it in the latest generation, which was Marvel Scale.
No, it still has no Marvel.
But I think it does something different now. Yeah. So Marvel Scale, what it used to do was when it had full HP, it would whatever move hit it would do half the damage it would do. So you spend a lot of your time just doing recovery moves, getting your health back up to maximum HP, so that all the moves that are just done on it are just really awkward and horrible. And of course, Water's it's got a few weaknesses. It has the electric types and the grass types, but it tends to be quite a bulky sort of. Especially when you've just got a monotype of it, it's not paired up with anything else. It's quite bulky when you compare it to some of the other types. So it's really, really fun just to run that, and everybody hates seeing a Melodic. There's probably a primal fear in you as well from Gen 3 whenever a Melodic would turn up saying, I am not going to have a good time taking this prick down. Am I right?
Yeah, that generation had Ludicolo and Melodic, which would just, you'd be like, oh, that's fine, I've got a grass type or electric type move, and then it just kind of wouldn't really do anything, and then your recovery. And I think, as I mentioned before, so I played both Coliseum and XD, and you have to fight so many Ludicolo.
I know, and he's this stupid gormless duck face with the maracas dancing. You're just like, I don't need to fight another one of these. Why are you making me?
I know, whatever that disco guy is called. Yeah, and then I don't know, I'm gonna sound like a proper complainer. Back in the day, when you had that ridiculous mechanic to find a Feebas that could actually evolve, find a Feebas.
Yeah, of course. But I think that's part of my love for it is the amount of work that I had to put into to get it,
Yeah. So if you don't know, you can only find Feebas on 5 particular fishing spots in Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby, and it reset every time you flew around. So you were just ages and ages and ages going to this one particular river, moving around and fishing. And then when you did catch a Feebas, you then had to raise its max beauty, which involved a whole other mechanic to evolve it into Melodic. So Feebas is really it's kind of like the Magikarp of the 3rd generation. Really ugly looking, not particularly useful or viable, poor statistics, and it evolves beautiful, marvelous Melodic.
Yeah, exactly. The Gyarados to the Melodic to the Gyarados.
Yeah. And then these days, log into Sword and Shield on a rainy day and the Melodic just floating around in the river.
Yeah. What a prick.
Yeah. Too easy.
But yeah, it's also it's also one that I quite like because it's got the weird sort of ribbon eye things, very similar to like Sylveon as well. I don't know, it's a good aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, you're all about the ribbons and sexy ladies, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Defines your choices. My second water type.
Go on.
Again, it's been one that has grown on me. Is Octillery. I always liked Octillery, but I was really bugged by the non-conformity of its evolution line. So, fish,
so it evolves from a fish into a mollusk.
A fish evolving into a mollusk, which just makes no sense. I mean, the other way around sort of be acceptable. But yeah, Octillery. Basically an octopus-like tank, quite bulky. So for a while I was running water-heavy teams, and it can take a little bit of damage. And then I really like the ability and the moveset. So yeah, Moody is broken, basically. Sniper's very good as well.
Sniper's a fantastic one, as long as it makes your criticals triple. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. So pair it with either. It has a really good move pool as well. So pair it with, so you pretty much guaranteed some kind of super effective hit. And then either pair it with expert belt, which kind of double increases your damage for super effective, or oh my god, one of the lenses increases your critical hit.
Yeah. Is
that right? Yeah.
Yep.
And then you're laughing. Yeah. I also just like the design. I don't know if you've seen the leak beta or early designs or whatever, but basically Remoraid, which is based on Archerfish, is much more like a revolver. And Octillery is much more like a tank. Almost kind of has tank tracks. So yeah, I really like that idea of.
That makes a bit more sense as well. I'd never really paid attention to Octillery and sort of armory and
artillery and aiming and but they toned.
Imagine that. Yeah,
they toned down the designs so they look less like a gun. Tanks are fine though.
Yeah.
Your number 2?
My number 2, I think I mentioned earlier as well, or when I say earlier, the previous podcast, is Toxapex.
Hey.
A very, very annoying Pokemon to come up against. Has some very, very cool abilities. Even the non-hidden abilities are really cool, where it just causes reflective damage. I really, really like the hidden one, which is Regenerator, which just basically means whenever you swap that Pokemon in and out of battle, it gains more health. It also learns things like Rest. Not Rest. What's the other one? It's another healing move.
Recover?
And of course, Recover. That's it. And there's other things that just make it a very, very big, horrible wall to come up against. But not only that, it's doing poison damage back at you. So that it's not just that you're not wanting to hit it in any kind of way, because you're just going to get hurt. But on top of that, it's already doing some poison damage to you, which is just causing you to whittle down your health whilst you remain sitting there doing Recover or swapping out and going in for another just to get your health back and things like that. Really, really cool, really annoying. And also really fun design as well. I mean, I'm not sure why it's it's obviously based on sea urchins, but I'm not sure why it has like curtains and has a girl sort of hanging from her head inside it. But yeah.
Yeah, I think it's based on a crown of thorns starfish.
Alright, okay, cool.
Which are widely known to be a pest species if they get on coral reefs, because they just eat absolutely everything.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was sea urchins, but never mind then.
I think so.
Okay, cool.
And it's also got that cool ability. The one that, if you're poisoned or your attacks are crit.
This is really interesting.
I thought you'd know. Do you not know?
Well, it has the battle armor one, the poison battle armor. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it's like everything. I don't know what you mean by the crit one. Is it like sniper?
Merciless.
Merciless. Oh, yeah.
Attacks become critical if the target's poisoned.
Yeah. Again, that's good from an attacker point of view, but I think from a defensive point of view, that is why this Pokemon really, really shines. And the other two are just so much more brutal.
Have poison touch or poison point.
What does it have?
It doesn't. It's Merciless, Limber, and Regenerate.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Of course, I'm getting it mistaken. It actually has an individual move. A move that's exclusive to it.
Oh, Baneful Bunk. Okay,
yeah.
Let's move on.
Sorry. Yeah. Apologies.
Any honorary shout outs across the West?
Oh
West?
my god, there's so many. There's one that you actually mentioned to me, which is a sort of forgotten love that I just haven't even bothered to go back and sort of retrain, which was Clauncher. Really, really, really like the design of this sort of. It's based on some shrimp that's able to like shoot water at ridiculous. Yeah, and I like that. I thought it was really, really cool. But there's so many close seconds. One that you mentioned, of course, is Ludicolo. Yeah, I think there's quite a lot that I could choose in there, but I'm not going to go into great depths. Not like I did with Ghost, because I could have just given a shout out to everyone, but I've already mentioned ones like Swampert, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna stop. I'll hold myself back. What about yourself? Honorary mentions.
Honorary mentions. I like all the with the addition of the new Slow King and Slow Bro. I just like the idea that there are so many different variations of where shells can go. So the Slow Bro King lines, I'm a fan of. Let's have a look. Relicant. It was kind of, unfortunately, water and rock, so it was always going to be in tough competition with me.
Yeah.
A lot of time for Relicant. Barbarical, I really like. I mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Basically, all the rock and water types.
Yeah,
so many.
exactly.
Dreadnought. I really like Dreadnought as well. And one of the new rock types. Even though we've already got another rock turtle. With a Gigantamax form.
Yeah.
Grass.
Okay.
Your ass is grass.
Your arse is grass.
Your ass is grass.
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 I mean, like, fuck off, grass.
Yeah.
There's not much to really like here. There is my one new love for this generation, which I gave an honourable mention to last week, and that's Ferrothorn.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really like that, again, purely because really annoying defendy prick. So I'm gonna put Ferrothorn in as my number one for grass.
Nice.
What about yourself?
Tropius, really strong stand-up. Again, I've leveled many Tropiuses, such a big banana tree.
Diplodocus
Yeah,
thing?
yeah. Sort of. I don't know if it's loosely inspired by the cryptic sauropods, which are supposed to exist in the deepest, darkest.
It's probably based on some fucking Japanese yokai banana monster that causes luck only if you see it when you're in the bath or something stupid like that, you know?
Yeah. It has I mean, the problem with grass types, especially jaw types, is grass type's not a good type on its own, and often when you pair it, it just doubles or some cases triples its weaknesses.
Yeah.
Grass and flying's not fantastic, but there is a kind of gimmicky build if you don't value your time in this finite life we have. Where you can kind of heal, and then it has that harvest ability, so you just kind of endlessly.
Oh yeah, so the harvest ability, we were talking about that a little bit with Trevenant.
Yeah, so you just endlessly picking up berries and healing yourself.
Yeah.
And protecting and then doing synthesis, but actually struggling to do any kind of damage.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean it's always fun to have play about with these mechanics, and quite honestly, if I'm going to give a shout out to a second Pokemon, it's going to be Trevenant, but in the most recent generation, he just doesn't really stand up at all against a lot of the other ones that were available. So I have a well EV'd Trevenant, but it's just not. I wouldn't there's so many I would choose over him. But when it comes to grass types, there isn't. Fuck you, grass types.
What about Zarina? I always thought,
Zarina.
Yeah.
Which one's that? Remind me.
She's the Stampy Boot Queen plant.
Oh, the one that's yeah. I mean, she's quite popularly. Oh, Sarina. Okay, like as in yeah. Gee, I've never heard that name said out loud. I've only seen it written. But yeah, like. I mean, obviously, it falls into the category of overly sexualized Pokemon.
Yeah. If you're of a certain mindset, yeah.
Yeah, if you're a certain mindset. Just depends on your point of view. But yeah, no. Like, it's pure grass, and I don't know. There's nothing about that design that actually stands out.
It's got a cool ability.
Oh, what is it? Queenly Majesty thing?
Yeah.
Is it cool?
It's kind of less cool now that everyone sets psychic terrain. But yeah, previously it was a good way of preventing you from the fake outs and your bullet punches and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean that's fine as it is, but I don't know. Again, you want a big, bulky, defendy prick, and grass types don't offer much at all in that sort of way, except for Ludicolo, with the ability to have Rain Dish and Leech Life and all sorts of things that make it really, really annoying. Anyway,
moving on up. I think this is perhaps the weakest type of all Pokemon types, electric type.
Oh god. My favorite is the Pikachu. It is not Pikachu. I find it very hard to like any electric types. I don't know, they all just have jaggy fur and they're all yellow, and you think like Supersonic or you think Super Saiyan, and everybody's just yellow. I don't know, unimaginative. And of course you have like 19 million Pikachu clones with the little electric pouch cheeks, which is just whatever, man. I am going to say a new generation entry, Toxicity, a mixture of poison and electricity type, a solid sweeper attacker, fun design because it's based around music, but still annoying because it's all spiky, and you get two different types of it as well, which is fun. So I'm gonna say Toxicity for my top one.
Are you gonna mention the weird nipple guitar?
Yeah, that's weird. It's like he's got these gills along his chest and he sort of strokes them, and that's supposed to be like an air guitar thing. Yeah, that's a bit creepy. It kind of reminds me of you remember the zombie guy in Darkstalkers? No,
not really.
Okay, never mind. Reminds me of him. End of the story then.
Yeah, no, sorry, I really didn't. No recollection there.
He's supposed to be quite punk. He has like these electric guitar moves, and he's a zombie. So it's like, I'm so annoyed I can't remember his name. I want to say it's Ripper. Fuck it. Talk about your Pokemon. I'm gonna Google the shit out of that bad boy.
Well, I was just gonna say, I heard a rumor that you bred a couple of thousand Rotoms. Surprise Rotom.
I did breed a couple of thousand Rotoms, and that was back when Rotom first came out, when it was in, oh god, I'm going to say Diamond and Pearl, probably wrong. It's probably Black and White.
No, it might be. No, I think you're right.
No, Diamond Pearl. Yeah, I am, so 4th gen. And I was really excited because they brought in I think it was in Platinum, they had the ability to have them in different forms.
Yeah.
The heat type, the fan type, and all that sort of stuff. But I quite liked the basic type, which was Ghost and Electric. That being said, I went through several thousand of them, and by the time I actually got to a point where I actually was able to use them, I'd kind of given up the Ghost. But yeah, it was more like, yeah, no, fuck it. I'm not interested in Rotom.
Yeah, I mean Rotom's still a beast.
Yeah.
If you get caught out with a type disadvantage, Dynamax is real strong. Some of those really defensive.
Yeah.
The other one I had you fingered for.
You fingered me for what?
No, had you fingered? I had somebody else finger you. Was Lantern.
Lantern, like the water and electric type.
Yeah, the anglerfish.
That's only because he's a third generation one, isn't he?
It's Gen 2, my friend.
Gen 2. That's only because when I was playing Gold and Silver, you probably remember me playing it, and I was like, yes. Yeah, I like Lantern. I haven't since.
I think it spoke to your perverse nature.
Did I? Yeah.
You're deeply perverted.
My deep sea fish angler fish.
No, just that it was the first. We had like a water and electric put together. You're like, whoa, but water's weak to electric, and now it's not going to be weak to
electric. That juxtaposition there as well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, oh, it's got bioluminescence.
I love symbiotic bacteria gathered together in a light sensing organ.
Incidentally, the Darkstalkers character, the zombie one with the punk and the electric guitar moves, is Lord Raptor.
You were sort of close. I see what you were going
for.
Cool. I honestly don't know. with electric.
Okay.
Yeah. If I had to, gun to my head, if I had to, I think I might go for one of the new
Arctozolt. Okay.
So the new fossil. Unlike the previous fossil Pokemon, the new fossils are a hodgepodge of broken fossils.
Yeah.
And so there's an electric dragon, electric ice one. Arctozolt. Back half, I think it's supposed to be some marine reptile. And the front half. Although there are a lot of Pokemon which have drippy noses. It's like a very
Cubchoo. No, I know where you're coming from. Yeah,
I think that's probably the only one actually. There's another Pokemon with a drippy nose, and I know it's like a very Japanese manga thing, right? Just to have a drippy, characters just have a drippy nose. It was a bit disturbing. But I like the idea of this front half, whatever it was, supposedly electric dragon, is like sort of semi-allergic to its own back half and perpetually has a cold.
So, that's a good story. I hate the designs of all of them and have spent zero time. I fancied getting, what was it, the Dracozolt or whatever it is?
The fish one, Dracovish.
Yeah, Dracovish, because it had that most powerful move in the Sword's Shield ability. Yeah, but
Vicious Rend.
Yeah, which is just, it's like, that's the reason every fucker wants it. There's nobody likes that design at all.
Yeah, no, they are abominations. And then since the Crown Tundra, you can get them all with their hidden abilities, which just makes them ridiculous. So they've all got speed boosting, so boosting in, I think it's boosting in sandstorm, rain, etc., hail. They've become even more potent. Next type is psychic.
Hang on. I do have an honourable mention.
What? Okay.
Again, Stunfisk.
Okay,
Yeah. But yeah, fuck it. Let's go. Move on.
Move on. Psychic.
Psychic. Fuck. Okay.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Head and shoulders above the rest.
Yeah.
All-time favorite psychic is Wobbuffet. As I mentioned in the last episode, I'm quite a lazy Pokemon trainer, so I love the fact that with Wobbuffet you don't want a good speed. You're not bothered in its attack or its special attacks. You just have 3 stats to focus on. This kind of idea that it's a kind of a pacifist Pokemon, so you can't actively do damage unless someone's damaging you. I really wish I was much, much better, or I knew much more about Pokemon, because your effectiveness with Wobbuffet is largely down to how well you know the Pokemon that you're facing down, and whether they're likely to do a physical attack or a special attack. I've leveled and EV'd one almost every generation. In Sword and Shield, they made it a hell of a lot easier because there was a really difficult move that you want for it, Encore, its ability, although it's not as good as it used to be, its ability kind of traps Pokemon and stops them from switching. If you use Encore and you survive the attack they have, you kind of lock them into their moveset, and then there's nothing
You just
So I've been using them one in the most recent tournament, and occasionally you can squeak a win just with a Wobbuffet because people don't know how it works, I think. So they'll do a setup move, and you'll be I'm gonna trap you. Wobbuffet, love it.
Cool.
You?
I'm gonna flip the tables on this one, and I'm gonna.
My god!
I'm gonna talk about my honourable mentions first.
The tension.
I know, and it's mainly to lead up to the underwhelming knowledge of what my actual favourite psychic Pokemon was, but even then, it's underwhelming. So I think my honourable mentions have to be the big hard hitters of Gen 3, which were your Gardevoir, of course. You fucking perv. And
it's the thing I can't get. The thing that makes me wince when I see Gardevoir is what is that thing in its chest? It looks like
I know, it's going right through.
Someone's just rammed a shard of a vase in its chest.
No, it's like a guitar plectrum. I always thought it was quite. Somebody. There's a really small Pokemon that someone's put a guitar plectrum through.
forced it through the middle like some kind of voodoo doll.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's supposed to be its whole thing. It's supposed to be sort of heartless, or something like that. Or its heart split in two until you can take that out. I remember some sort of tale of something that it's based on.
Because it starts in its head, right? In routes, it has a thing in its head.
Oh, right, yeah, of course. I never really thought about it that way. And then it's got its sort of hair clips and...
Yeah, which seems much less tragic, fatal, spooky. Having hair clips, and then it transitions into being this...
Wrapped through the chest, yeah. Straight through the sternum. Oh my god. I just felt my sternum.
Exactly. It's just cartilage.
But yeah, and then of course the other one is Metagross.
Yeah, right. Cheating. I think you already mentioned this when we talked about Steel.
Yeah, again, it's a very, very solid Pokemon. No pun intended there.
You are on fire.
Fucking right, man. This is why I do a podcast. But yeah, no, it's an odd type. But yeah, Metagross is good fun because it's defensive and very, very offensive as well. So it's slow, but it can take the hits, and then suddenly it got a Mega and made it super fast as well. So it's just you don't like coming up against Metagross. One thing I also wanted to mention before I get on to my actual favourite type as well, it's just why is every fucking mythical and legendary a psychic type?
I know. Yeah, there's loads.
It's just
I think
like
it's because you know how we talked
Mewtwo was, and then everyone else is just sort of Mewtwo too.
You know how we talked about like still thinking of Steel and Dark as being new, and then Fairy still being new.
Yeah.
I still think of Psychic as being that like the cheaty type because in the first generation there really wasn't much you could do against Psychic.
No, you wanted a Psychic type on you at all time. Yeah, because it was just like every fucking Psychic Pokemon you got had the move Psychic, which was just ridiculously powerful.
Yeah.
It was like as good as Surf or better than Surf, and it was just taking down everything. And like the only thing that was really, really good against it was Ghost type, and then they just fucked you over by giving it a dual pairing with Poison.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So I still get that mouth taste whenever I see a Psychic Pokemon.
You know, I get where you're coming from, and that's really weird. Yeah.
But yeah, we've got Latias, Latios, Oopsie, Mesprit, Azelf, Cresselia, Victini, all
Deoxys.
Psychic,
Yeah.
Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma,
Like,
Calyrex. Oh my god, yeah.
are all the fucking Tapus all Psychic types as well?
I think they're fairy, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they are fairy.
Yeah.
Tapu Lele is Psychic. Yeah, but yeah, you just get... Yeah, you get so many fucking Psychic twats.
Okay,
right.
we cannot wait any longer.
Okay, so my favourite Psychic type was never originally a Psychic type.
Oh.
Introduced into the new generation, we have the Galarian Rapidash.
Oh.
One of it's what I call the drag queen of Rapidashes. It is an amazingly camp, brilliantly looking fairy type. And I mean the word fairy has connotations. It swallows them up, chews them out, and spits them up.
Spits them up.
Chews them up and spits them out.
Spits them up, chews them
up.
up.
I'm a podcaster.
Eats them up, stomps them up,
Yeah.
beats them up, bites them up, shoots them up.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really, really, really like its design. Went through Sword and Shield. In fact, you helped me out. You got me. You'd kind of torn ahead of it and got me.
Hooked you up.
Yeah, you hooked me up with My Little Pony.
Yeah,
and
a stud breeder that I know who is turkey based.
But yeah, so stuff for that. It's a really cool Pokemon, dual typing, Psychic Fairy, and again, weirdly, I'm just thinking back and looking at my list, and it's just like I've got quite a few new entries, if you count that as a new entry.
Yeah, that's a new entry.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, cool.
I did not know about its ability, Pastel Veil.
Is that a hidden ability? Because I don't think I had that.
Possibly. Prevents it from being poisoned. And its ally.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, what about you? What was your favourite Psychic type?
We've already done me. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. And no honourable mentions?
One, but it's coming up later, so I'm not going to do it.
Okay, fair enough. So from Rapidash, we move on to Ice, baby.
Hey, there you go.
Dun.
Give me your ice.
My Ice.
Money or your ice.
Oh, wait a minute. There is another fucking shout out for you, and I'm really annoyed you never said it. Oh, I suppose you're keeping it for later. Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Catch up. Come on.
Yeah. Alright, fine. Motherfuck. I'm gonna say my favourite ice type is an Alolan type.
Oh.
Yep. And it is Ninetales. Again, it was a fire type. I didn't like very much. But when it got the ice typing, I thought this is quite a cool, different looking. Again, it's a lot sleeker, better design, and I think, of course, the juxtaposition of it suddenly being ice over fire immediately brought me over to it. So yeah, I'm going to say Ninetales for my ice type.
Fairy doesn't hurt either, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ice and Fairy. Ordinary.
Ice and Fairy.
My favourite ice type, I think I mentioned it before, is Cloyster.
Yeah.
So again, another, just a Pokemon I completely, I don't know, just assumed wasn't very good. And then looking at, as you mentioned earlier, looking at who I was going to kind of, if I was going to take people through Sword and Shield, who was available early on in the game, Shelter was, really good stats and ridiculous ability and skill link. So if your opponent lets you pull off a Shell Smash, you're then doing ridiculous damage with the, what's it called? Oh my god, all time. Ice move that hits you 5 times.
Oh, let's call it 5 Ice.
5 Ice. And then you can either pair it with a White Herb so that you don't get the stat reductions from Shell Smash, or the proper shitey thing to do is to give it a King's Rock, and then you have 40% chance of flinch is each one of those 5 Ices.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Really good. So Cloyster's raced up my favourite lists, and also helped its place on a mollusk.
Yeah, of course. You do like your mollusks.
I do. Honourable mentions. I think Arctovish is actually one of my favourite of the new fossils.
Okay.
Just because its head is on upside down. I just find it just so creepy. I really like Aurorus. It's just not a very good Pokemon.
No.
Its ability is not great. I think I shouted out for Mammoth Swine last time with Ground. And do you know what? I do like a Delibird.
You do like a Delibird?
Yeah. It's nice to see it as a, if you've got an ice level, there's a Delibird. At Christmas, we get it on go. And I like that, the AI is not intelligent. Well, that it just doesn't present all the time. Sometimes it boosts. What about you?
So I would say for shout outs, I have one other one which again might have mentioned before, and that is Walrein.
Oh yeah.
You were very, very perplexed as to why on earth I would like Walrein as a Pokemon. And it's a big, bulky water type. Water and ice type, sorry. But it's got this ability Thick Fat, which prevents or reduces the damage from fire and water types, which just really makes it, or fire and ice.
Ice type.
Yeah. Which is just really, really handy to bring in, soak up a bit of damage, and he's so defensive as well. And I paired him up with my the ultimate duo of Ribombee and Oricorio, and it was always so much fun to just pass all of that quiver dance to Walrein. Have this big bulky bad guy suddenly just firing out ice beams that are just so dangerous, it was a really, really beneficial boon to have so much defense on this silly looking, it is a silly looking Pokemon.
Yes.
But yeah, very, very defendy prick, and unexpected defendy prick. Yeah. So yeah, that's my shout, Walrein.
Nice. Next type. Cheaty type.
It's not the cheaty type.
Boss character type.
Boss character type.
The type you choose, you don't really know.
It's the guy who plays as fucking M. Bison on Super Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. Or Idol. Only plays Idol. Or Odd Job. Is that kind of prick. We're of course talking about Dragon type.
Oh God! Right, you go first here.
I really don't like Dragon type at all.
Why is that?
It's not interesting. I mean, they're all in the same way that you very astutely pointed out that electric types all look the same. Dragon types all look the same.
Yeah,
like a dragon.
dragons. Yeah.
My favourite one though is Sliggoo again.
Yeah.
Recent discovery. When I was thinking about what to go through Sword and Shield with, and then it's a weird one because it's a middle evolution at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, with a Eevee-like. Really nice shiny. So yeah, Sliggoo, just kind of this mollusk. It's weird because it's bigger than it was a mollusk until somebody mentioned it. Oh yeah, it kind of is. And then it turns into a strange
Gloopy dragon.
Yeah, gloopy dragon. But the flavour for Sliggoo is that its brain is kept in the little, essentially what the snail shell on the back. And it just melts things, including...
Its loved ones.
Yeah, its loved ones, yeah.
Okay, gotta love these Pokemon flavor takes.
Yeah. It's also really, again, really, really bulky. Has excellent abilities in Sap Sip before hydration. So you can swap it in, absorb some of that damage. Those abilities, solid. So Sliggoo has a head and shoulders above all the other ones in that type, I think.
Nah. There is so many from the dragon types that I could choose. And ultimately, I'm just gonna go back to my first love, which will be Dragonite. And Dragonite, again, has exactly the same annoying skill that what's it called?
Melodic.
Melodic has multi-scale or Marvel scale or whatever it was, just so much fun to have on your team. Ridiculously high attack, really, really good speed on top of it as well, and it is the original dragon. A little bit gormless looking, a little bit goofy, but that's part of its charm. But yeah, to talk about some of the other dragons, I could go on in a big list of all of the ones that I like. We talked about briefly the ground ones, the Garchomps and the Flygons, although I don't like Flygon. It was nice to get a pure dragon in the Haxorus line. Of course, you have got the Megas for Charizard as well. I thought the Tyrantrum would have been on your radar as that's the T-Rex looking dragon one.
No, there was a gift Tyrantrum, so yeah, it looks like a T-Rex with a furry mane. Which I took through one of the games. It's kind of cool with the strong durability, which boosts all its bite moves. So you can put fire, thunder, ice, fang, and whatever on it. But it's never really done much for me. I think I've always had high expectations of it, and then it's never really performed. I was thinking about it.
Yeah, the other one that I had a big soft spot for was the Poison Dragon Dragalge.
Oh yeah.
Again, another just based on the defenses type that you can do with him, and give him I think Poison Point, and just sort of annoy people who try to attack it and things like that. But let's talk very quickly about this generation's dragons and how pants they are.
Okay, so we've got Applin, and then this weird flying apple dragon, and
the dragon's the worm in the apple.
Tart dragon.
Yeah.
But giving a dragon grass type just doesn't help it at all. So
no.
yeah, those I don't know.
Does giving a grass-type dragon help it?
In theory, yeah. Unfortunately, you start off as a grass type.
yeah, exactly. You get Sceptile, and the one that you always forget that's dragon as well is the Alolan. Oh fuck! I forgot his name. Executor, as well. He's grass and dragon.
Yeah, grass and dragon. So
Yeah.
not even really doing anything particularly novel there.
Nah.
Then you got the fossils, which we've talked about. So Dracovish and Dracozolt.
Duraludon, which we've talked about before as well, because it's kind of freaky that is he a skyscraper that people live in? What happens when he... Yeah.
Yeah, and then...
the ghost dragon
Ghost Dragon,
thing, yeah.
which, it's insane speed to spend a while. Every single team was carrying it. Despite the fact I don't really rate them. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm always carrying 2 or 3 Ice Beam for it, so it just never seems like
yeah, you... no worries. Whatever, Dragon Pulp.
Yeah, exactly. And then we've got the weird poison and dragon that is Eternatus.
Yeah, exactly. One that I actually EV'd. There you go. There's another legendary I had time for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phenomenal stats, but what a weird Pokemon. It's kind of cool. I like. He's not really, just has that cool chest cannon as well.
Right. Okay. Enough about dragons.
Yeah.
Let's talk about me for a while. Sorry, went Alanis Morissette on you. What?
One of the new types to Pokemon.
Oh, is it dark? Is it steel?
It's dark type, yeah. Only introduced 22 years ago. This dark type is where we find all the edgelords.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So we got a lot of like.
I was actually joking.
Over one eye.
I thought we were about to talk about fairy. I was
No.
it's just genuinely, it's dark.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was refreshing when it came onto the scene because finally Psychic not only had a weakness but there's an immunity there.
Yep.
And all the move sets, just kind of bully type moves. You're like.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, I don't know where dark fits in. It's like apparently it's a sort of like a mistranslation, or it's just something not for English or the Western Isles. Isles. I don't know, Western world, Western whatever. But dark is also supposed to be evil. So
okay.
It's supposed to be dark as in dark, you know. It's supposed to be like evil Pokemon or their evil type. So that's kind of why it's got that sort of look to it and types. And it is all very edgelordy as well. But I suppose that everybody likes that for the fucking anti-hero pish. Everybody's a fucking Neo in the Matrix, Right, okay, let's get this fucking over with. I hate dark type already.
Yeah, so for me, is it me? It will be me.
Yeah.
Again, head and shoulders above the rest is Malamar, so the one based on Squid. And I like this Pokemon because I think, going off what you were just saying about this supposed to be evil, there was an episode of the anime where basically just mind controlling an entire town of people. There's like a cabal of Malamars. Yeah, I thought that was nice. I also like the I don't actually like the kooky way you evolve it. So
turning upside down.
Yeah, it's the overturning. Oh, what are they? There's weird little designations that they have in the Pokédex.
Yep.
It's the revolving Pokemon, and Malamar's the overturning Pokemon.
Okay.
And the way that you used to evolve them, the way you still evolve them, is by turning your DS switch upside down when they level up. But what I do like, what I really like, is the ability Contrary and the move Topsy Turvy. So Contrary is anytime your stats would be lowered, they're raised, and anytime they're raised, they'd be lowered. And then the move Topsy Turvy reverses your opponent's stat boosts. So
Yeah.
yeah, just really like that kind of buckery. Although with Dynamax battles, Contrary is not a good thing to have because mostly, if somebody's Dynamax, most of their moves boost ally Pokemon stats. So Malamar's just sitting there taking all these stat hits because the stats are being reduced. So that's less useful. Yeah, and nice resistances. So Malamar for all those reasons.
Cool. I'm going to go for another Alolan type. And
Alolan form.
another Alolan type.
I let it go twice, but the third time I'm like, no, I'm gonna.
No, you have to. It's Alolan form, and that is Alolan Muck, and that is the Muck that got the rainbow type pattern on him, and he got some new moves, new abilities, and was also given, along with his poison typing, the dark typing. So, big fan of Alolan Muck.
We miss you, Alolan Muck.
Yeah, we really do. Getting back in the game super soon. But yeah, he had this really funky move in the last generation, which is the power of alchemy, which basically meant that they could copy somebody who got defeated their ability. So I was running like lots of different teams with this, but my favourite one was Salazzle and Muck. And Salazzle, of course, has the corruption ability, which allows anything which couldn't normally be poisoned to be poisoned. And so you want Salazzle, who's your glass cannon, just to die, give it over to Muck, and start using these horrible poison moves. Or indeed the Venom Belch one, which reduces all of their stats as well. It's a really, really fun combo to run with. But that on top as well, it also got, because it was the dark typing, it started learning some of the other moves. And I forget what the dark type move was. That's shit. So annoyed. But basically, it suddenly became viable because it now had a dark type attack, which was really, really powerful. So you've always got this, even if all of your fucking defendy plans fall through, and they were dependent, on certain things happening, I always had the dark type move to back up on. Fucking hell.
Crunch?
No.
Memento?
No. Hang on, you talk about my cargo for a second.
What's okay?
My cargo.
For some reason, we're going back to my cargo.
Oh dear, shit.
Pokedex entry is very strange in that internal temperature can reach temperatures which are hotter than the surface of the sun, which defies all kind of physics. Interestingly, Slugma isn't rock type.
Alright, fuck it. It's pointless. Let's not do this anymore. But yeah, it got a dark
podcast.
Yeah, fuck the podcast. No. Be a good way to end it though.
Yeah,
yeah, done.
Alolan Muck's moveset did you in?
Yeah, just fucking couldn't handle it anymore. Done with you, man. Yeah.
It doesn't earn any like assurance. Crunch, those are its best dark moves. Dark Pulse?
No.
Brutal Swing, Embargo, Quash, Thief, Knockoff, Torment.
I can't honestly remember. It's
Taunt?
really, really, really pissing me off.
Fling.
Listen, let's not do this. This is not interesting anymore. I will look into it.
Okay.
It's going to involve me having to fucking find my Alolan Muck on home or something stupid like that.
Right. Let's finish this fight. Last type, the actual new type.
Yes. This is the last one, yeah?
Yeah, last one. We got there.
The relief from our listeners.
The relief from me is...
Motherfucker.
Always a good sign. Fairy! So when Fairy was introduced, finally had a counter to the cheesy boss type, and brought with it a range of cutesy Pokemon, and a whole bunch of old Pokemon got a new typing. So yeah, go. This is another one of your type.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's quite a few that I could bang on about here, but I'm going to go for one that gets the crown that I have leveled up in several different ways and several different times and still want to get a shiny of and level up, and that is Sylveon, the fairy type evolution of Eevee. Bulky as fuck, learns some really, really cool moves. Its hidden ability Pixelate basically turns any normal move into a boosted version of it, but doing fairy damage. It's just insane. You know, I really, really love the movesets you can do with it. You can do things like have wish support on them, and all of the Eevees are actually secretly quite bulky. So you can play about with some really defensive types as well as offensive stuff on there. Straight up, top winner, Sylveon. Easy.
Nice.
Head and shoulders above the rest, some might say.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And what about yourself?
Not really had much of a foray into the fairy types. But I think a standout. I remember when Sun and Moon came out, and we were excited about all the new designs and talking about them. And there's one design that was just instant hit. I think. You know, some Pokemon designs come along and they're kind of okay, but this one is one that I think one of the top Pokemon designs has ever been, and that is Mimikyu, which is a mystery ghost-like being which has fashioned itself a cosplay, which gives it this very good ability called Disguise, which means essentially you can take one hit and do no damage, busts your costume, ghost and fairy type, and very good defenses.
Yeah.
You can come across a nasty Mimikyu, and they do a sword. If they get a sword stance off, then
it's usually quite easy because they've got that stupid ability.
Yeah. So just do a sword stance, and then you'll shadow sneak or whatever. Day away.
Yeah.
Mimikyu.
So, just if you're interested, I briefly looked up my Alolan Muck, and its knockoff is the Dark type move, which changed everything for Muck. The ability to just hit them with a Dark move, do double the damage if they're holding an item, and who the fuck runs an itemless Pokemon? So that's what kind of changed everything for Muck there. Sorry to interject on the fairy speech.
There we go.
Yeah, cool.
Live on the potty.
Yep. Cool.
Any honourable mentions?
I mean,
fairy?
all of the fairy types. Pretty much all of them. I'm not going to run through and thankfully talk about every one of them. I really, really, really like Rabombi, as we talked about.
Yeah.
And of course, a special mention, which has also already been special mentioned, Klefki, because of its seemingly inane form, but just really messing you up an awful lot. So yeah, I'm gonna say, that's my top. Sylveon, closely followed by Rabombi and Klefki, and of course, I mean, I mentioned quite a few other fairy types as well previously. I'm not going to talk about Glaring, Rapidash, even though I just did there, contradicting myself immediately.
Any others you're not going to talk about by talking about them?
No more talking about fairy types. Done. Absolutely done.
Okay.
Oh, and no, I'm joking.
So now we're going to test each other. That's been our foray in some of our favourite Pokemon, different types. Hopefully you've got to know us a little bit better. One of us likes cheesy characters, sexy ladies, and Pretty Ribbons. The other one likes Mollusks in Generation 1.
Yeah. Who do you think's cooler, listeners?
Drop us an email with your favourite Pokemon.
Slip into our DMs.
Why do you keep saying slip into it? Like, every time you say it, you sound creepier and creepier.
I know, it's deliberately. I always think it's such a creepy thing that people talk about.
Yeah.
Slip into my DMs. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
That guy's a maniac.
Why'd he bite me?
Why'd he bite me?
Look at me, I can't find the fucking turn the offy button.